how's it going, everybody? So Devin here. I'm just gonna be doing that from now on. Just because it's asking my name from now on. Zombies, some Clevin, some 5, whichever one you want me to go by. Over to Zombies podcast. We're gonna have to keep this one short and sweet, as well as silent and quiet, because I'm currently walking around in my neighborhood, and I don't really want to disturb anybody. But yeah, so sorry for the abrupt ending with last episode 3, part 1. I did not get to finish my thoughts because I was interrupted by something. So yes, I'm very sorry about that. I shall get back into that amusement park story later on. But speaking of which, again, I did say that I was going to be out about the neighborhood, so there's going to be a lot of loud noises. But yes, so the next amusement park fair I'm going to be going to, it is into the month of the fair, and it is just weeks away. I'm kind of excited about it, actually. I think this is going to be fun, very fun. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm going to absolutely love it. And yes, shut the fuck up. Okay. But to my destination. Cool. Alright. So yeah, so I'm sorry for the rude interruption last time, and I shall get back into that story another time. But for right now, I shall be not continuing that for a little while, because I've got things to do. I'm not going to immediately call back to the story. Leave you guys on a little cliffhanger, my bad. Alright, now this is where I can be a little bit more louder. Excuse me. Yeah, boy, fucking hell. Alright. Also, sorry for any vulgar language that I have. If it offends anybody, I'm extremely sorry about that. So yeah. So I guess today I'm gonna be talking about, I think we're talking about recent events, but, honestly, with this podcast, I'm trying to be a lot more mysterious about it, you know, like, when they're like, oh, who is this person? Something like that, you know, like not like creepy mysterious, but just like mysterious in general. Well, that's kind of my goal for this. Is to make you guys think about who I am, wonder what kind of personalities I have, and though, yes, I will maybe tell you every once in a while, but I won't. Mates, I shall be back in a little while. There is going to be a little pause. I shall be back into the action in a little while. Awesome. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Again, no professionalism here. Honestly, just me talking into a recording thing and making a somewhat podcast. So yeah. Thank you now. So, what the hell? It's itchy. Right. So yeah, yes. You should get it. Cool. Great. Alright. So, I'm kind of reluctant to talk a little bit about some things going on. I might do that a little bit more. Some of this is mysterious. So, I guess I'll talk about things that I used to do. Now, if you have not, listened to my other podcast, I'm so used to saying, like, seeing my other videos and like that. If you've not listened to any of my other podcasts, I'm not trying to be, like, self-promoting or anything like that. Just go watch them, because guess what? There's some information that you may not know about me that I'm going to be talking about that you may be confused by. And I don't really want to repeat myself too many times. I'm definitely going to be doing short summaries of other things and events. So, basically, if you guys know, I've moved to a different area. I talked about this in my second video. I talked a bit about this in both my first and second video, but, I guess podcast episode. Just gonna call it episode, because that's what it is. But if you guys know, I moved from an area. I lived first area for 5 years. I'm used to moving at this point because we did move around a bit, but I mostly lived in Washington, around the West Coast, around in Seattle and Everett area. And that's mainly where I lived for, like, a whole part of my life. So yeah, actually for like a good 10 years, actually, I lived in that area. Like Mukilteo, Everett, anything like that. And I did like this one, but then I mostly lived in those areas, like more towards over the major cities. But then we made a drastic move over to this place called Mount Lake Terrace, which I lived in for 5 years. The first 2 years, I absolutely hated the place because I really did not know a thing about it. I thought it was stupid, and I really was quite depressed. It's because I made a life over in that area, and I didn't want to leave it. But now that I'm older, I realized, oh yeah, that area was not getting too good for me to grow up in. Because if you guys don't know what's going on in Everett and those certain areas, gangs, drugs, a lot of shit. A lot of bad shit. So, yeah, not really a good thing for someone to grow up in. I know people who have grown up in that area, and I give props to them and everything like that. But, yeah. So my mom did not want me to grow up to that, so we moved to a place called Mount Lake Terrace, which I lived for 5 years, until now. I believe 3 months ago, I moved again, after my 5 years, over to where I am now, which I will not give my location, because secretive. And I just realized that I haven't been secretive that much, because I just wanted to talk. Great, alright, cool. Awesome. Fantastic. Alright. So, honestly, I like to move. It was awesome. It's something that I've been wanting my entire life. I'm living with other families. Not families. I'm living with my other part of my family now. Not like anything bad happened to my part that I was living with before. Just I wanted to move, and I finally got the privilege to move, and now I'm here. But also a lot of routines are now changing as well. And I guess that's what I wanted to talk about, is my routines and certain things that I did that I'm not really going to be doing that much now. I was a gamer. I used to be a gamer. I still am a gamer now. I still love to play games. I still love to record, as you guys know, because I'm doing this. I just absolutely love to share my experience. I used to have a YouTube channel, but it eventually ended after a while, after not being successful, and I didn't really have the commitment that I wanted. So I, just quit. But I still played games, and I played a hell of a lot of games. I also watched other YouTube videos and everything like that. Just being a normal kid, But I played it maybe a little bit too much. I can think of that, yeah. I didn't really go outside that much. I kind of sectioned myself off from society sometimes. Because nobody would really understand me, I guess. But now I'm all fine. Now I'm all dandy and everything like that. Everything's all good. Alright. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm just trying to think, I guess, like, moving in and out of things. I don't want to, well, yeah, so, I'm just trying to think of what to say and everything like that, like how to... Well, yeah, so I'm just trying to think of what to say and everything like that, like how to wear things, regular stuff, take it on the spot, improv. But yeah, so I used to play games a lot, and as a child, I still played games, but I didn't as much because I like to go outside, I like to do things. I still like to do that, and I still like to do that then, and I would love to. It was kind of like my escape from reality, but also playing games was my escape from reality because my reality sucked at that point in my life. When that was my escape. But also, when I couldn't escape to there, I would go outside. I had this little trail that I walked all the time, everything like that. And yeah, which eventually got ruined kind of for a short bit. Because of other events that happened, but then eventually I was like, yeah, screw it, that's in the past, I'm in the present, so, but yeah, so, I thought I saw something here, yeah, so now everything's all good, but I used to play a lot of games, and I really wasn't able to play too many, mild, M-rated games, but then after a while, my mom just didn't care. My parents didn't really care, so she just allowed me to play it. And I finally, I know a lot of people have controversy about Call of Duty, but I honestly love the game. I love to play it casually, but I also love to play it for the Easter eggs. As well as also I like to be competitive. I'm all three things in one, which is not really that common. As you might kind of expect. It's not at all common. But it is. So yeah, but no, so I eventually completed my entire, I played on a PS3 most of the time. I was not one who had, the most hype games, everything like that. I honestly, the best I had was a PlayStation 3. I had a Wii and a PlayStation 3. I also had an N64, for all of you guys that aren't old enough, that's a Nintendo 64. One of the, I love it, but it eventually got sold because I was being a little shit as a kid. Yeah, so, but no, and I finally completed my collection of Call of Duty games with having 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you guys don't know, the third Call of Duty did come out on PS3, but only as kind of a short demo. All it had was zombies and multiplayer, but limited zombies and multiplayer. There were only 2 DLC maps for zombies, which is why can I not remember it all of a sudden? Like the 2 main ones, they're both after Origins. I can't even remember. The Giant and not Dewey's. No, it was like, yeah, it was a very fun one. And the multiplayer had limited things, limited guns, everything like that, as well as other limited guns. But yeah, so it was very limited, but I still loved the absolute crap out of it. But what came first was Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which is why I absolutely love Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and it has a special place in my heart. Is because it was just before things started to get a little bit more complicated. It still had the regular system, but then I also loved some of the parts of the other system as well. So the very first game that I ever played of Call of Duty was Call of Duty Black Ops 1. I haven't really played too many other Call of Duty games besides the Black Ops series. And I'm trying to, and I did actually, almost successfully. I played World War I, I'm trying to play World War II, and I played the original Call of Duty and Call of Duty 3. I actually owned Call of Duty 3, but then I gave it away because it sucked. I really didn't like it. Not because of bad resolution or anything like that, just the gameplay sucked, and honestly, I didn't really like it. But yeah, so, but I didn't play that much of Call of Duty Black Ops 1 back then, and I was still like 7 years old, so I didn't even get to play that much at 7 years old. So I got more accustomed to Black Ops 2, which I got after we moved to Mount Lake Terrace, about 3 years in. And I just loved it. I completed the game 100%. Honestly, I got all the DLC. I completed this campaign a bunch. She got almost every achievement. Got a platinum trophy. I'm proud of it, surprisingly. I love the game. I honestly love it. Mob of the Dead and Origins is one of my 2 favorite maps. Buried was my least favorite, but I had a reason why. Because it was way too fucking convoluted. I know it was extremely easy. There was so many exploits. But I just really didn't like the feel of it. I didn't like the feel of any of them, like Transit, and everything like that, but I surprisingly liked Die Rise. Everybody shit on Die Rise because of how horrible of a map it was, how easy it was to die and everything like that, and just how bad of a game it was. I kind of liked it. It had the level of intensity that Mob of the Dead had, with tight corridors, easily able to die any direction, and everything like that. But it also had a little bit more skill to it, and I liked it. I didn't get to play that much of it because nobody else would fucking play, because they all hated it. Yeah. I was also a pretty good part of the community. But that's why I like games like that, is because of the community that it builds. Which then can also get broken very, very fucking easily because of jackasses, which I kind of was. And people may think that I have my own opinion on people who do mods and hacking. I'm fine with hacking and mods, honestly. I'm perfectly fine with it. I did a little bit of it myself. Probably shouldn't say that, but I only did a little bit, and I didn't really do that much. So, fucking sue me. I didn't hack, I just used mods to make the game better. Because at that point, it was doing the exact same shit. I was still liking it, but I wanted a little bit more spice in it. And that's what it did. It was fun, especially to have, wacky shit. What I didn't like, though, is people that did it right off the fucking bat. I'm trying to do something, and people will just fuck around with it. That I don't like. I don't like to use it unproductively. I guess. Or those who like get right into it and then hack to get the highest rank. I actually tried. I got all the way to the last stage of the knife rank with the glowing eyes, the knife through the skull, which is just before the actual like skull, glowing skull height rank. I actually tried and I couldn't find any other way to do it besides, you know, like modding. And I tried my damnedest and I was like, fuck this. I tried it. Does it really have a point? It didn't really have a point, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, might as well. And honestly, it was actually kind of nice. But yeah. So I played a lot more, and I mean a lot more of Black Ops 2. And then I found out that Black Ops 3 was available, but I was like, oh my god, it's awesome. But then I kind of was skeptic about it, and I should have been skeptic about it. But when I got it, my feelings immediately dropped down, but then I raised them up again. And I didn't play that much of it, but then I really, really started to heavily get into it. And it was just very fun. I loved it. But then I got Black Ops 1, which I didn't play that much of. I really, really wanted to get DLC, but I didn't know which DLC I should get. I think I got Moon, possibly? I can't remember. But, yeah. Actually, I think I saved up to get a DLC, but I never actually got it before I moved. But yeah, so, I like those kinds of games. Those games are fun. To me, anyway. And I'm not competitive that much about it. I will get competitive if I have to, and if you're fucking around with me. If you want to get competitive with me, I'll get competitive with you. And beat your ass. So, there you go. That's my thoughts on that. As I said, I have to make this kind of short. I shall do a second part of this if you want. If not, have a nice day.